Hello and welcome to the Album Man, and sorry I haven't made a video for quite a while, but I really haven't been very well the past week. But anyway, I have now hit 300 subscribers and I am really happy about that. I didn't quite think, I thought maybe at maximum I might get to 100 or something, but 300, seriously, it blows my mind, people. Thank you so much for all the support that you've given me, for subbing, for liking, for favouriting, commenting, and most importantly, for watching. I really do appreciate everyone who views my content. And I thought I'd, do a bit of sort of, giving something back. And I'm going to shout out 15 people who are, some of them, well, there's a variety. There's people who have inspired me, some people who inspired me to start this channel, some people that are smaller reviewers that I believe should, need more, should have more subs, need a bit more exposure. And also just some random other YouTubers that I enjoy, and I don't know, some of you might as well. So 15, now, if you're not here, I'm subscribed to over 200 people, so there's a lot of channels I watch, so if you're not here, don't be offended, I still watch content. It's just, these are just, 15 people who I just, particularly think. Okay, so number one, and this is no order, by the way, no order whatsoever, it's, just random. So we'll start with Subsist68, also known as Danny from Metal Couch. And why are we starting with him? Well, probably because he's the one who's been the most influential to me. He was the reviewer that really inspired me to start this channel. He has around about 375 subs, not that big a channel, but I was looking, I first discovered sort of video album reviewing when I was looking for a review of, I was reading some reviews of the Pink Floyd Experience editions, the Dark Side of the Moon one, I think. So I decided to just Google it in YouTube. I'd never watched the video review before, but I've watched game video reviews, so I thought there might be music ones. And I found Subsist68's video on it, and I watched it, and I thought it was really good, really informative, and just started to watch more and more. And he hasn't been posting that much recently, but I'd still recommend checking out his channel. Loads of great stuff, some Megadeth reviews, Metallica, also, just lots of different types of metal, mainly, as, Metal Couch. And also some game reviews as well, stuff like Resident Evil and things like that. Really cool YouTube, one of my absolute favourites, and wish he'd start doing more reviewing. He seems to be concentrating more on his gaming related channel. Now, next we have Darren Locke, who also used to be known as Vroom UK, but has now used that Google Plus thing where you have your name. So Darren Locke. And he is really the prog reviewer. He's probably my favourite prog reviewer on YouTube. He specialises very much in prog. Has quite a fan base, a good couple thousand subs. Also English, which is always cool. And yeah, just a really big fan of English prog, from King Crimson to Genesis, but also his other type of stuff. He did a whole Rush discography, even though he doesn't even like Rush that much. But also a lot of unboxings of very, very cool box sets that certainly most people, I don't know how he affords. I think he uses his YouTube money and then sells on eBay afterwards. But, yeah, and he has he's managed to charm his subscriber base so much that he even seems to receive items. People seem to buy him stuff from his Amazon wishlist. How he's meant to charm people to do that is beyond me. But, yeah, definitely check him out. Next, we have Ace Salieri 2, the first non-music review YouTuber. Now, I've mentioned him before. I entered his reviewing contest, which hopefully the results will be coming out within the next few weeks, with my Land of Graham Picked by Caravan review. And this reviewer, he does something very different. He reviews reviewers. Mainly bad reviewers, stuff people like the Irate Gamer, the NC17, maybe bad game reviewers, to be honest. Very, very entertaining, his reviewing a reviewer series, and I highly recommend it. One of my absolute favourite YouTubers, and reviewing a review is probably my favourite series on YouTube. I just absolutely love it, and can't wait for the next one to come out. Okay, next we have a review I've only discovered quite recently, Chainsaw Gears 12. And yeah, he's a really cool reviewer, an American reviewer, and he seems to be doing a Megadeth discography, which is always cool. I love Megadeth. And reviews a lot of, why is there a dog barking next door? Reviews a lot of metal albums and things like that. Definitely worth checking out. One that I'm sure all of you know, but still, obviously someone who inspired me, cover Killer Nation. You know, I don't think many people do one of these without mentioning him. You know, massively influential metal reviewer. I'm sure you all know him. I'm sure you've all checked him out. But if you want, the very few who haven't, then definitely do. One of the best and biggest metal reviewers on YouTube. I think he nearly has 10,000 subs. He was celebrating 9,000 subs not long ago, but yeah, should be getting close to 10,000. He deserves all of it. Reviews quite a diverse thing. I mean, he doesn't just review metal, he also reviews from prog. I mean, he did a whole Pink Floyd discography, and maybe, you know, hard rock and a variety of things. I think he's even done the odd rap thing. I'm not sure, but I know he likes some rap. Okay, next, another non-album review YouTuber. This is Captain 8-Bit, and he's known for his series The Game Chasers. And the thing about this is basically a couple of guys, Billy and Jay, and they literally just go around Texas looking for games and car boots and Salvation Armies and things like that. But the thing about the series is particularly good. It's very professionally edited. One of the guys, I think Billy, he's actually a professional editor. It's what he does as a job. He's a freelance editor. And he really has such a high production value. It's very reminiscent of, if you know the program American Pickers. They've basically taken that start and applied it to games. Really funny, really definitely worth watching. Of course, all these links will be in the description below. Next, we have Fulton's Reviews. And this guy seems to have shot up in popularity. I remember when he was very, well, small, to be honest. I could swear I remember when he only had like 70-odd subscribers, but now he seems to have nearly 800. Yeah, growing pretty fast. His channel, I think, only started last year as well. And yeah, he reviews a lot of metal and stuff like, you know, Opeth and, you know, a lot of proggier themed stuff as well. But I was watching his part of his vinyl collection. He also seems to like a lot of classic rock as well. And yeah, very cool guy. And also, if he reviews beer, which is certainly different. I mean, not saying I'm personally interested. I'm not a beer drinker myself. But if you are, then yeah, definitely check that out. Okay, and next we have, and this is going to be one of the weirdest ones, we have Ghost Critic. And he's not a game reviewer, not an album reviewer, no, in fact he's a comic reviewer. You know, I don't know if many of you know, but I am quite a big comic fan. And yeah, he basically, every sort of Thursday, because comics come out on a Wednesday, he basically just, you know, reviews the ones he picks up and does very interesting, informative reviews. So if that's the type of thing, definitely check him out. Okay, back to another album review. We have Midnight Strike 3625. Now, he's quite a small review. I think he only has about 70-odd subs. But, yeah, one of my favourite up-and-coming reviewers. Really enjoy his stuff. Particularly, he does his Versus series. Like he's just done one of Bon Scott versus Brian Johnson, where he basically, you know, just takes two things, compares them, and, you know, asks for your opinion and tells you his own. And yeah, really good videos, as well as does a lot of reviews, and also game reviews. I recently did some Metal Gear Solid, did a Super Mario Bros. 3 review, which is pretty good. Yeah, definitely worth checking them out. Okay, number 10 out of 15, the Hate Bit Podcast. Now, I've never been the biggest podcast fan. In fact, there's only one podcast I listen to, and this is the Hate Bit Podcast. It is just wonderful. It's a gaming podcast hosted by Alpha Amigasin, probably one of the biggest gaming presences on YouTube. Well, maybe not one of the biggest, but certainly quite a big one. Yao Chaos, the Sainted Magnus, who's a Brit, and, well, it used to be Razorfist, but he left, so now there's random people. But yeah, if you're gaming, you should definitely watch. I mean, they're quite long, 1.5 hours to 2 hours a week, but it really does fly by. It's very entertaining, very informative, and it's how I keep up to date on a lot of gaming news, to be honest. Okay, number 11, a guy I have to mention, Mr. Cannibal Spork. Now, he mainly reviews death metal and things, or doom metal and things more, you know, that type of more extreme metal. But one of the things in particular, he did a shout-out video last year, and this was only when I was very, very small. It was not long after I got rid of the old microphone, to be honest. And he actually gave me a shout-out on there, and I gained about 20, 30 subs, which at the time was a really big deal. So, you know, forever grateful for him, you know, giving my channel that kickstart it really needed. Number 12, Live Prog. This guy, I think he's European, isn't like mainland Europe, maybe German or something. He has an accent, I can't quite pinpoint it though. But yeah, really big prog reviewer. He gets interviews with loads of bands. I think he's interviewed, you know, quite a few, you know, known bands. I think he's even, like, interviewed It Bites and things like that. And has such a wide taste in prog, from, you know, the more known stuff, like maybe, you know, It Bites, for example, to some very, very obscure stuff, you know, Marillion, but very obscure stuff that I've never heard of, and yeah, really, really good channel. Number 13, getting close to the end now of this epic shout-out video, Metal Jesus Rocks. Now this is a gamer who also talks about albums. He really has a very best of both worlds. He mainly talks about games and lots of hidden gems, really interesting stuff, but also a massive metal fan. He recently did a video about his favourite sort of glam metal bands, which is really cool, talking about bands like sort of, you know, Def Leppard, and I can't remember to be honest now, but yeah, very, very cool guy. Number 14, Shadowblade 9209, I think that's the numbers, I don't know for sure. But another smaller reviewer, only has about 100 odd subs, but definitely, you know, gaining in popularity, and yeah, you know, just does a lot of reviews of new album releases, mainly rock and metal orientated. And lastly, but not least, probably the smallest review on this list, Thomas the Rockaholic 11. Quite a new reviewer to the community. Been doing a Metallica discography. I don't think he's finished it yet. I think he's got to Saint Anger. But yeah, really, really good upcoming reviewer, and he seems to be British as well, which is always a plus. The more British reviewers, the better. Okay, so that's my epic shout-out video. If you survive all 11 minutes of this, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subbing, and this has been the Album Man. Can't wait to subscribe, and as usual, long live rock and roll.